What if I told you that everything you think you know about getting rich is a carefully crafted lie? Seriously, the get-rich-quick schemes, the flashy lifestyle, the idea that you just need one lucky break. It is all a show, designed to keep you on the hamster wheel, while the real players operate by a completely different set of rules. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the 5 money rules that billionaires quietly obey. And trust me, number 4 is the one they really do not want you to know. First up, billionaires do not save money. They allocate capital. Think about it. You are told to save 10% of your paycheck, put it in a savings account, and watch it get eaten alive by inflation. How is that working out for you? Billionaires see money differently. Every dollar is a soldier, and it must be deployed into battle. They are not just saving, they are actively and strategically allocating their capital into assets that generate more capital. They look at their money not as something to be hoarded for a rainy day, but as a tool to build an empire. While you are worried about your savings account earning a pathetic 1%, they are acquiring businesses, real estate, and stocks that are working for them 24/7. So, the first rule is to stop thinking like a saver and start thinking like a CEO of your own money. Where is your capital being deployed right now? Is it lounging on a beach, or is it working to make you wealthier? Which brings us to rule number 2. They embrace asymmetrical risk. What in the world is that? It is just a fancy way of saying they place bets where the potential upside is massive, and the potential downside is small and controlled. The average person does the exact opposite. They take huge risks for tiny rewards. For example, people will gamble their life savings on a speculative crypto coin they heard about on social media, hoping for a 10x return, but risking a 100% loss. A billionaire, on the other hand, might invest a small calculated portion of their portfolio, say 1%, into a dozen different early-stage startups. They know that 11 of them might fail completely. That is the controlled downside. But if just one of those startups becomes the next Google or Tesla, the upside is not 10x. It is 1000x or even 10,000x. That single win pays for all the losses and then some by a gigantic margin. They are not gambling, they are playing the probabilities. They hunt for opportunities where they can risk a little to potentially make a fortune. So ask yourself, are your financial bets symmetrical? Are you risking $1 to make $1, or are you risking $1 to potentially make 100? Now, let's get into something a bit controversial with rule number 3. They buy time. You and I, we trade our time for money. It is the oldest deal in the book. You give your employer 40 hours a week and they give you a paycheck. Billionaires figured out a long time ago that this is a sucker's game because there are only 24 hours in a day. You cannot create more time. So, what do? They use their money to buy other people's time. This is called leverage. They hire smart people to do the things they are not good at or do not have time for. They hire accountants to manage their finances, lawyers to navigate legal complexities, marketing gurus to build their brand, and CEOs to run their companies. By buying the time and expertise of thousands of people, they can achieve in 1 year what would take a single person 1,000 years to accomplish. They understand that their own time is their most valuable and finite asset. They protect it fiercely and use it only for the highest level thinking and decision making. You might not be able to hire 1,000 employees tomorrow, but you can start small. Can you hire a virtual assistant for 5 hours a week to handle your scheduling? Can you pay for a service that does your grocery shopping? Start buying back your time, even in small increments, and reinvest that time into activities that generate more income or more value. Stop being the employee in your own life and start being the CEO. Alright, are you ready for the one they really do not want you to know? Rule number 4. They master the art of good debt. We are taught that all debt is bad. Cut up your credit cards, pay off your mortgage, live debt-free. That is excellent advice for the middle class. Billionaires, however, understand that there are 2 types of debt: bad debt and good debt. Bad debt is the high-interest credit card you use to buy a new television. That television is not making you any money. It is a liability. Good debt is when you borrow money to acquire an asset that generates more money than the cost of the debt. Let me give you a classic example. A billionaire wants to buy a $10 million apartment building that generates $1 million a year in rental income. Instead of paying $10 million in cash, they go to the bank. They put down $2 million of their own money and borrow the other $8 million at, say, a 5% interest rate. The interest payment on that $8 million loan is $400,000 a year. But remember, the building is bringing in $1 million a year. So, after paying the debt, they are still pocketing $600,000 in profit. They just used the bank's money to make themselves richer. And what did they do with the $8 million of their own cash that they did not spend? They went and did the exact same deal on 4 other buildings. This is how fortunes are built. They use other people's money, or OPM, to scale their wealth at a speed that is simply impossible if you only use your own cash. They leverage debt as a tool for massive growth, while the rest of the world is terrified of it. It is a fundamental shift in mindset from debt as a burden to debt as a strategic weapon. Finally, we arrive at rule number 5, and it is perhaps the most important one because it is about mindset. Billionaires are obsessed with learning. Not just casual reading, but a deep, relentless, lifelong obsession with acquiring knowledge. They understand that the financial landscape is always changing. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. While the average person finishes school and thinks their education is over, a billionaire sees it as just the beginning. They are not just reading the news, they are reading dense industry reports, historical biographies, and complex scientific papers. They are constantly talking to people smarter than them, asking questions, and challenging their own assumptions. They know that their greatest asset is not their money, but the space between their ears. Knowledge is the ultimate form of leverage. It allows you to spot trends before anyone else, to understand complex systems, and to make better decisions under pressure. They are not paying for entertainment. They are investing in their own intelligence. They might spend thousands on a private seminar or a high-level mastermind group because they know that one single idea from that room could be worth millions. So, what was the last thing you truly learned that could tangibly improve your financial future? Are you coasting on old knowledge, or are you actively upgrading your mental software every single day? So there you have it. The 5 rules they live by while we are fed a diet of save your pennies and avoid debt. 1. Allocate capital, do not just save it. 2. Make asymmetrical bets. 3. Buy back your time. 4. Use good debt to accelerate growth. And 5. Never ever stop learning. This is not about hating the rich, it is about learning from them. These are not tricks, they are fundamental principles of wealth creation that anyone can start applying, at any scale. The game is being played whether you know the rules or not. Now you know them. The only question left is, what are you going to do about it? Thank you so much for watching. If this video opened your eyes and made you think, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because we are just getting started on this journey to financial literacy. Drop a comment below with which rule surprised you the most. See you in the next one.